It turns out that doing software problems does not prepare most students for a paper and pencil test very well. So the idea is you're doing a wide variety of software problems, and then from those software problems, I've selected just a few problems for you to do on your own from our textbook with pencil and paper, showing all your work as carefully and as well as you can. It should represent your own best work. And these problems will be submitted through Canvas, and I will correct them, and you will see my marks and you will get them back. So the question is, how do you do that? Well, you go to Canvas, you could go to Assignments, and you could look around until you find Book Assignments. Notice B1 and BA are on Chapter 1, just like the software assignments S1A and S1B were on Chapter 1, and these are due the next day, July 3rd, and so we could click on, say, B1A. And this tells us the section numbers in the book, 1.1 through 1.4, the page numbers that the problems start on, page 8, page 16, page 26, and page 34. And then for each section, there are 4 problems that you're supposed to do. And so you look those problems up in the textbook. You do the problems showing your best work. Don't write down just a bunch of answers. You'll get 0 points for that. You got to show me your best work. And that's really, really important. So the question is, how do you find these? Well, you could write them down. A little bit later in this video, I'll show you a way that you could print them out if you don't want to write down the assignment. But for now, I've written down these problems so that we can go find them. Notice you can't really click on these. I wish there was a way, but I couldn't figure out a way to make these clickable. So you're actually going to have to click on MyLab and Mastering, which we've done before. Since you've registered, you'll be able to get into the MyMathLab software this way. And we can go to, I suppose we could go to assignments, but those would be software assignments, wouldn't they? And so we need to go to our textbook, which will be the multimedia library. I want chapter 1, so I'm going to choose chapter 1, all sections, and I'm going to choose just the textbook because I've already watched the video. I don't need to find the videos again. So now I want to go to 1.1 and begin with on page 8 with problem 23 because that's what it said I was supposed to do. Now I could click on section 1.1, but it'll take me to the beginning, which is like page 2 or 3 or something. So I'm going to cleverly click on 1.2, which is not exactly what I wanted. And when it gets me into 1.2, which it will eventually do, it'll get me to the start of 1.2, and I want page 8, so I'm going to back up to page 8. And that is supposed to be easier than turning the page in an actual textbook, but I don't know. And so here is problem 23 right there in the top right-hand corner, and I could write down the problem and show my steps and do the work and evaluate that thing and be done. Now the question is, what happens if it's been a while since I've done the software problems and I don't remember how to do this problem, 23? Or maybe the software just didn't do it for me and I forgot a little bit, or I never really understood it, or something. What do I do if I'm stuck on a book problem and don't know what to do? Well, it used to be that you would have to go to a tutor or a friend or the teacher in the office hours, but I'd like to show you some things that you have available to you. First of all, I'd like you to notice something about the software itself. So take a good look at problem 23, try to memorize it, and let's go back and look at some software now. So we're in MyMathLab. I just closed Canvas, which was really not very smart. Let me fix that. So happily we're back in Canvas, and I want to go to the software problems, and I can do that this way. And you'll notice on each of these software problems, like for instance question number 9, that up in the top here, it puts the chapter, the section, and the problem. And this is problem 23 in section 1.1. And we were doing book problem 23. And look, they match exactly. So if you're doing the first book problem 23 and you're stuck, you can come back to this software problem number 9, which is exactly like it with just slightly different numbers. And you can use the question helps to remind you of how to do it and do it for you. And for most people, that's enough to get them going, and they can go back and finish that book problem and do their best work, and that helps prepare them for the exam. You have another alternative as well, and that is under modules, down here below these videos, it says examples and ideas from your teacher for assignment 1A. And you can click on section 1.1, and it's a video of me showing you some specific information about the book problems. To give you an example of that, I'll click on this first one just briefly. Again, a video.
Here we're asked to evaluate the expression m minus n divided by 2. What that means is to
So you can see that you have plenty of chances to get help for the book problems. You can go to the software problems that are exactly like that book problem, or you can go to these videos, and there's a video for every single section in the book, and they're all open to you right now, and there's just not an issue. It's pretty easy, it's pretty self-explanatory, and there's plenty of information for you there if you would like it. I mentioned that you don't have to write down the book assignments because I made under this video 6, I made an assignment PDF which you could download and print if you wanted to, and it shows you the page numbers and section numbers and problem numbers for all the book assignments. It's all on these 2 pages, and it's ready for you.